The political development in Nigeria is indeed predicated on the trajectory that started since the First Second Republic. However, though, that is not to say without challenges. But in recent times, Nigeria political dispensation is beginning to become more competitive in terms of various political parties' participation, to general elections. As 2027 general elections is coming nearer, the momentum has taken the center stage. Hello there, welcome to Political Affairs on Kama Multimedia. My name is Chris Jacobs, and today I will be speaking with Barrister Sunday Wogira, who joins me to further these conversations on politics, security, and judiciary, all culminating to preparatory for the 2027 general elections. Barrister, it's a pleasure once again to have you join me on Political Affairs.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine.
Indeed. I want to say, ever since you returned from the UK, I have not set my eyes on you.
It is what it is, actually. We are all very busy.
Yeah.
And we are meeting today.
All right. But just on a lighter note, what do you think that Nigeria should learn, with what you have seen in the UK?
Respect for the law.
The law.
Respect for the law. You see, in Nigeria, we seem to be lawless. And curiously, when we are out of this country, we are lawful. We have respect for the law of foreign countries than we have for our own.
Even a simple traffic adherence.
Traffic regulations. You don't beat traffic laws, traffic lights, even if there is no one before you. Here, we take that for granted. And it is sad. You don't drive a car unless you are licensed. Here, we don't care. We don't see child drivers there. But here, you see even delinquent adults everywhere, which is most unfortunate.
All right, I hope we get to that stage one day.
We will get there when we have people who knows how to apply the law appropriately.
Indeed. All right, now, talk to me. With the recent political turmoil, that cut across political parties in Nigeria, all in all, is preparatory for the 2027 general elections. And some might say whether perhaps it's too early for us to start seeing political parties having either inherent, disagreement or apprehension and discrepancies as regard to who spearheads the party or who becomes the flag bearer. But how will you describe this sudden turmoil we see in almost all the political parties in Nigeria, including the ruling All Progressive Party?
Well, disagreement is part of human development. Where there are human beings, there must be disagreement. The fundamental thing is, how do you manage your disagreement? How do you resolve the issues that you have between or amongst you? As a party, as a people, as a nation, we must disagree. What is pertinent and fundamental is how we manage our disagreement and come to an agreement after that. And we move on from that as well, learning the lessons and avoiding the pitfalls that we overcame in the past. So it is not a problem for a political party to have a disagreement, to have issues. It is fundamental, it is normal. However, what is abnormal is the way and manner that problem is resolved, that disagreement is sorted out. So, lessons must be learned from this. And we have to also know that as we keep growing, we keep facing challenges. The challenges we face as children, we don't face them as adults or as young people. And the challenges we face as young people, we don't face them as adults. And so it goes. so also with organizations and entities like political parties and a nation. The challenges we faced in 1960s, 70s and 80s are not the same that we are facing today, even though we could still face one problem after the other repeatedly, because we are not mindful of the way and manner the problem came about in the first instance and how we managed to overcome them, you know, and making sure that with the knowledge of what happened and transpired in the past, we will avoid what will come us repeated, or what we will face repeatedly. So these are some of the issues, and I'm of the opinion that some people, they have learned these lessons, they have mastered the art of managing disagreements, while some don't actually.
Somebody say Nigerians do not learn lesson, particularly when it comes to politicking. But talk to me also. I think the last time we saw an emergence of influx of political juggernauts, you know, collapsing into one body was 2014, when we had the coalition that ousted former President Goodluck Jonathan, you know, from power, ushering in the late President Muhammadu Buhari. And we're also seeing, you know, in like manner, after perhaps the similitude of 2014, we see it now coming to limelight, the coalition, all preparatory to 2027. But what do you make of the coalition, you know, that is said to be spearheaded by the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar?
Yes, in 2014 or 2013, 2014,
Yeah.
there was a coalition that produced the APC. And I ask, is APC a solution or a problem to Nigeria and Nigerians?
You're asking the question?
Yes, and I will answer.
Okay.
In my own way, to my own mind. APC is rather a problem than a solution.
So are you invariably saying that coalition does not actually bring solution to the myriads of challenges that Nigerians have been
There must always be
faced
a
with?
way to find a solution to a problem. But the issue is, who are the people looking or finding a solution to these problems? Because when you find a solution to a problem, and then when you make an attempt to find a solution to a problem, and at the end of the day, in your quest to find a solution, you created more problems. The questions we want to ask is, are you really actually solution or problem solvers, or actually problem creators? For the APC, we have seen that APC is the greatest and the biggest mistake that we have had to live with as a people and as a nation.
So what you're saying now, there is nothing wrong to have a coalition?
There is nothing wrong, but who are the people in this coalition? Who are the people coming together to find a problem to a seeming, to find a solution to a seeming problem? Is there actually a problem, or are they actually the problem? You know, Goodluck Jonathan was ousted in 2015 by way of a coalition, and he has still remained a recurring decimal that people across Nigeria are actually in their minds regretting throwing Jonathan away, you know, and having to live with the problem they have lived with out of shame and fear and melancholy, you know, that they have even given up about Nigeria. And it has been moving from one problem to myriad of problems year after year. And now, these same people that are running into the coalition are almost the same people that brought this government that they are saying that it is a problem. They brought Buhari saying that Jonathan was a problem. Can't we sit down and tell ourselves, could these people actually be the problem?
All right, let's ponder on this. I will allow you to catch your breath. We'll take a short break, and of course, when we return, we'll still build on it. And this time around, we'll look at the gale of defection, because you're talking about same set of people, like a merry-go-round, or maybe they're enjoying it as a roller coaster when it comes to political parties' defection. All right, you're watching Political Affairs on Karma TV. We'll take a short break. And for those of you following us on social media platform, particularly our Facebook page, I'd like you also to send your comments and suggestions and submissions to the comment section on the Facebook, where it's provided for you to do that. But we'll take a short break. We'll be back in a moment. Alright, you're welcome back. If you're just tuning, you're watching Political Affairs on Karma Multimedia. I have been speaking with Barrister Sunday Wodira. Of course, he is a seasoned politician, as a matter of fact, and he wears a double cap as a senior special assistant to the governor of Adamawa State on public affairs. And he joins me, of course, to further this conversation in this session, the part 2 session of this interview. All right, before the break, I asked you whether or not, what makes politicians to jump ship. This is the first time we've seen that. And you made a very cogent point here that it seems to be the same persons, the same group of people who leave Party A for Party B, and of course, crisscrossing political parties. And I'll ask this question. Should our political parties have a strong ideological base? Do you think we'd have seen how politicians are cross-carpeting? Not even talk of forming a coalition.
Well, if you look at our political parties, actually, they are just mere vehicles for the attainment of power and nothing, since you cannot get elected except on a platform of a political party.
Oh, sure.
If you look at the parties that we have now and the parties that we had before, you find out that before now the parties were the drivers. Now the parties are just mere vehicles. The driver is the one who won an election. We have seen Shehu Shagari going to the secretariat of NPN as a president for a meeting, being invited by the national chairman of the party to the secretary of the party. The reverse is the case now.
Yeah, of course. I've seen where
national party
the state governors in the state capacity are the leader of the party, while the president, national level, is also the leader of this party.
And that is not healthy for democracy. It's a kind of a winner-takes-all thing. And political parties are just being used as instruments instead of the political party being the driver, the driving force for the government. It is the other way around, and this is not good. Be that as it may, it is as a result of lack of character in us. The moment you become governor, the moment you become president, you become a demigod. Nobody will have the balls to look into your eyes and tell you, Your Excellency, this is not right. And it is because we become all psychopaths. We want to curry favors, you know, and we look at politics as a kind of an avenue to make money. The truth of the matter is, you don't make money in government. You don't make money in politics. You know?
But of course, one of the reasons why you see a greater majority of persons venturing into politics, they feel is the easiest way and the fastest way.
And that is why most of these people that you see them cross-carpeting from here and there, they are lacking in character.
Yeah, but that's not to say
what they always project
Mm.
as policies and programs and manifestos of their own political parties are nothing but insults.
Yes, but that's not to say there are
Such
no
people,
microscopic
people-
few among these cross-carpeters who have Nigeria at heart, you know,
But
to bring forth the
being
dividends of
few and
democracy.
microscopic, what impact possibly could you make in a committee of people that have no character? You just get subsumed or you go away.
All right, let's move also, because I think there is more that we need to talk on this very episode today. Now, the People's Democratic Party, of course, seem to be the opposition, you know, that's supposed to be driving the voice of opposition in Nigeria.
They are the opposition, they are driving the opposition.
Yes, but the People's Democratic Party seem to be in this array because, you know, you cannot tentatively point out the likes of Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the FCT, whether or not he's double-minded. He's here today in the PDP or he's in the APC. Though Alan, the party, said in the next coming week they will decide whether or not, you know, to release the sledgehammer on him in terms of punitive measures for anti-party's activities. Is the PDP still formidable as the strong opposition party in Nigeria?
I believe so. The PDP is still a formidable party. I am a member of the PDP without mincing words. I've been one for a very long time. Yes, it is normal, like I said earlier, for a political party to disagree amongst themselves. And it is normal to have an abnormal child. It is normal to have a child who is a bully. But when the family is united, they will still bring him down and still calm him down and still move together. You see, you don't have to always wield the big stick to show that you are strong. Tolerance is in itself strength.
But you cannot continue tolerating, you know,
And you said
what
that
has
the
become
PDP
cancerous.
The PDP has said that the leadership is meeting next week to consider and decide. Let us wait for that time. We should not put the
if I can recall, you said it times without number on a forum such as this, that Nigeria should build strong institutions, not strong individuals. And we have seen over time that individuals, you know, have created a kind of an enigma for themselves that look to be stronger than institutions. Let's consider the PDP as an institution. But the likes of Wike, with the political shenanigans, you know, seem to have been stronger than the People's Democratic Party in whatever aspect, you know, you might say. And perhaps that has undermined the capabilities of the People's Democratic Party to bringing him to book.
Well, you see, yes, I have been saying that times without number, and I will continue to say that we need stronger institutions instead of stronger men. But there is nothing wrong in also having strong men in strong institutions to join forces together to build a better and viral nation, which is what we actually are in their need of now as a people and as a nation. Be that as it may, I think we still need people like Wike, in the PDP. And
In the PDP
yes.
while working for the APC?
No. You see, there is nothing wrong in working for a government, because this is not the time for politics. This is the time for government.
But already there are filters already that he's going to be working for the re-emergence of Tinubu come 2027.
There are people from other political parties working for the government of Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru.
Oh, sure, at the state level.
At the state level. They belong to other political parties.
Yeah, but Right Honorable Ahmadu Fintiri is not coming for the second time.
Exactly. What, even the first time, there were people in APC.
Yes, I mean, he's not coming for the third time. This is his last lap.
When
as
he
a
came
governor.
the first time, he embraced everybody.
Inclusivity.
Yes. That is why we have a slogan: nothing is left behind. Nothing is left untouched, and no one is left behind.
But those persons he absorbed into his administration, did they work against their political parties?
Well, it is left for them to say.
But of course, you can see it glaringly that
we have the votes of people from APC during the 2023 governorship election, because they believe in the leadership of Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri compared to the candidate of their own party.
All right.
So it is all about choices.
I've also, yes, I've also, there is more to
the issue of Wike. I think people are overhyping Wike as a reason, to justify their movement. They are so weak to admit that we cannot do anything. We just want an open ticket, and we are afraid we may not get that because some people are there who are stronger than us.
But do you think that the PDP stand
should not just be a reason for people to move the way they are moving?
But do you think
an individual can cook for the society? The society will eat up.
But what do you make of the stand of Wike that it is still the turn of the South?
He is entitled to his opinion. For crying out loud, he is entitled to his opinion. And I think, you see, weak people, as far as I'm concerned, are the ones that are talking about zoning. They know that they cannot assume leadership on its merit, but by taking advantage of the fault lines, that if it will be easier for me to become the president of Nigeria if the leadership is if the presidency is to be zoned to my own region.
All right.
So I don't think that is an issue. And people, Nigerians, must begin to realize that those who are coming on the premise of it is my turn, it is our turn, are actually going to create more problems.
All right, let's go further a bit,
don't have what it takes to provide
and I will allow you to catch your breath.
Very well.
Now, we've seen where or how the northern extraction, talking about northern region now, expressed their displeasure over, the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It seems the north is aggrieved. It seems the north is vexed with certain policies of Tinubu's administration. We've seen where some of the pointers, are reflecting to, nepotistic aspect of President Bola Tinubu, and that seemed to have infuriated the north. But what do you make of it? Should the north be complaining, over certain administrative policies of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
This reminds me of Chinua Achebe.
Okay.
He who brings ant-infested fagot into his house should not complain when he is being visited by lizards. The North, properly so called, is one hypocritical entity that they don't actually think beyond, or they don't see beyond their noses.
Are you generalizing the North?
Yes.
Or just an exclusive?
The North.
Okay.
I am generalizing.
All right.
It's most unfortunate. I am a northerner from Adamawa State. But I am telling you, the way and manner the North does its politics. It is either we sit down, hold our ears, talk to ourselves, humble ourselves, create a drawing board, again, or we will continue to complain. We will always be jumpy. We will always be losers at this rate that we are going, because we are just being emotional. We are not being strategic. We are not being rational. We want to exploit situations, but you see, we are not conscious of the fact that situations can exploit us as well. There was no justification for any northerner at that material time. When this Muslim thing, who started it? It was the northerners, to justify the support for Ahmed Tinubu. But there are things that when we say, people will think that we don't even know what we are saying. When you bring the issue of Muslim, you create the impression that you want to create a situation where you want to give Muslims an edge.
To end this conversation, then now, Barrister Sunday Wugira.
Unfortunately, we did not talk about the judiciary.
Yes, but of course we're going to have a part 2 of this conversation where we look at security and also look at the judiciary and how the government, is not adhering to the rulings of the Supreme Court, because there is more to that. Former President Muhammadu Buhari, during his era, the Supreme Court, of course, ruled, that Nnamdi Kanu should be released out, but yet the government was adamant. I've also seen between Natasha and the Senate President, owing to the fact that there was a court ruling also for her to, resume her normal, Senate activities and representation, but yet we see that still hanging in the balance.
When we have a government that does not have respect for the law,
we will look. Don't let it out of the bag yet. But of course, we have to promise our viewers that next week we will definitely have a part 2 of this conversation. And for time constraint, I'm sorry to say this is where we'll drop the anchor on the show today. Thank you so very much for being with us from start to finish. And for those of you following us on our Facebook page, I urge you send your comment, suggestions and submissions at the comment section, so that together we can be on the same page. Let's do this again, same time, same station. I remain yours affectionately, Chris Jacobs. Join us again. God bless Nigeria.